George, do you want to kick us off today?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Robert. Happy New Year. How did you spend the break after obviously that brilliant Arsenal win?
I was a happy few weeks because of that win, I guess. But no, I flew back to Sweden, to up north, and with my wife's family, basically. So it was a white Christmas with a lot of snow, and then a few days in the sun before we started on my birthday, the 2nd of January. So it was a good break.
And now you're back. I'm guessing you're sort of raring to go again. Whilst you've been away, there's been some signings. Just wanted sort of an overview, I guess, of what you made of the three new additions.
Yeah, I think when you look at what we have signed, I think that suits the way we want to play very good. Schwang is a more mature player, has been on the, playing in France and in the US. Very technical, very good to play through balls, and she's a brilliant left foot. So she's, the plan with her is to make sure she can strengthen our team directly, right? Matilda and Charlie is two very talented players that's been good in the Swedish league, and they have broken into the national teams they are from as well. So they're gonna, of course, need to adapt to this league, but they are future players that already now competing about play time. So it's three good additions to the squad.
And you start with not the WSL, the FA Cup. I'm guessing you remember the men's FA Cup from growing up in Sweden, but in terms of what you want to do, with the team in this competition, what are the ambitions?
I think it's every time we play a cup game, especially not the Conti Cup, this kind of cup, when you actually win or lose and then you're out, you need to practice on how to be very sharp in these kind of games, because if you give the opponent too much chances and they score, you can actually be relegated from the cup. So I think we can learn from these kind of cup games because we want to compete in the cups. It's also a good way for us to win a title. The final is at Wembley, right? So I think it's and for me, growing up with this cup, this is the real cup. The FA Cup is what I think is the huge cup in this country. So for me, it's very interesting to start competing in that cup, and I think we are looking forward to this game, because after a winter break, it's kind of nice to have this kind of games directly. So we need to be sharp directly.
And just finally from me, what's the kind of state in terms of the fitness of the squad? Any of those sort of longer term injuries, sort of like Evelina and Olga back, or you still without a couple?
No, but it looks like both Olga and Evelina will be in the squad for Sunday, so that's really happy news. They have trained very well these 2 weeks, and looks sharp, so they're gonna be back in the squad.
Thanks, Tom. Gary?
Thanks. Hi, Robert. Nice to see you. Could I just ask about the decision to let Shalina go out on loan? How difficult was that? And maybe is it possible that we might see her back in a Tottenham shirt in the future, depending on how that loan goes?
Yeah, I mean, she's a big Tottenham player, and she's been the captain for this team, and I know the fans loves her, right? And I think she's a brilliant person, a player as well. The tricky point is when you have a squad and you play with players that take the chance, and you have this kind of, she's a really good national team player that ends up not playing for me, then I want to make sure I find a way for her to get play time, because she's going to play the Olympics, and she's too good to be outside the squad or not playing too much in Tottenham. So then you need to take a decision built on that person, I would say. If I just keep her and train well with her and have her as a backup, that's good for me, but I'm trying to look a little bit further down, that she need the play time. She need to make sure she takes steps, and West Ham is quite near, and the coach there know who she is and everything. So I think she deserves to play, and I cannot offer her that right now. So I think this is a good match for her to just go and play there. And whatever happens in the future, it's very hard to say. I mean, let's make sure she gets the minutes there, and then we see from there.
Thank you. And can I just one other question about the game on the weekend? Because I believe it's £54,000 of prize money that's up for grabs, and I guess I'm wondering, in the grand scheme of things, if you could get a cash injection like that with that reward, what would that mean for the team? Is that relative to the huge wealth of football? Is that still quite a small amount of money, or actually could that help in the January window and that kind of thing? Can it be a helpful amount of money, given that it's increased since last season?
I mean, it's always good to get more money because the money makes you do stuff and you can improve stuff, right? So I think, of course, it's nice if we can win money, but Tottenham Hotspur is a very big club with a big budget. If you perform well and make sure you show the board that you're doing good stuff, so I don't think it shows like, oh, if I get those money, I can buy another player. It's more like if we show that we can actually add money to this team and show that there's a business case here in the women's football as well. That's the one good thing. I hope they can raise that amount in the future as well to make sure it actually have a big benefit of it. But once again, we're not in here to win those money. We're in here to entertain the Tottenham fans, to win titles for this club, and so the money is just a bonus, I would say.
Thanks, Robert. Wish you all the best for the weekend. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Tom. Dan, when you're ready.
Hey, Robert. Hope you're well. It's been a long time since Tottenham have won an FA Cup at any level. I think 91 was the last time the men's team won it. So, how much, I suppose, do you kind of dream of winning the trophy, and, what could it do for you, a really extended cup run and, hopefully reaching Wembley?
I think if you can reach Wembley and win this trophy, it would, for the fans. It's not for me. I'm working for this club, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to develop this club. But for me, it's like to give them the title. That would be amazing to see them celebrate. To see them celebrate against the Arsenal the other game was really big for me. So I just want this club to get those trophies because I think they deserve it, and they have waited a long time, right? So the FA Cup might be one of the shortest way to win. I mean, the title of the league is quite hard right now because the top teams is very good, but the cup is always a cup, and you can always find ways to go through each stage and actually win a title. So, I mean, if you look at the long end this season, I really want to go to Wembley and win that title, but we need to start with Sheffield United and make sure we beat them first, and then step by step. That's the boring answer, but that's the real answer as well. So I'm dreaming of winning that title for the fans, but we're taking steps every week, so I'm not stressed if we shouldn't win the title this year because we're going to make sure we are in the big finals in the future as well.
And what have you made of Sheffield United? Presumably you've seen some of their games, back. What are you expecting from them on Sunday?
I mean, we have really good control of how they play because we had Eleanor there on a loan this season, so she actually played for them. I know they have really good qualities. They have some really quick strikers. They have a good coach. They have what's the word? Game ID, how they play. So I think they have a certain style. But the thing is, when they're not succeeding, I see some really good spaces we can take care of as well. So I think we have a good chance to hurt them, of course. Then we have a few new players that we need to make sure we can handle. And I think if the new players in our squad coming into this, they need to learn the new relations. And I think from that, it would be a good game for us to hopefully dictate and make sure they got a good start with this club.
And just one more, if you don't mind. I was just going to ask about the goalkeeping situation because it feels like Barbara, with her performance, really kind of up the level of competition in the Arsenal game. So, what do you make of, the goalkeeping options going into the second half of the season?
I think Bara showed that she want to compete and play. She had amazing those two games, and I think she helped us to win the first North London derby, right? So, and she's shining at the training ground right now as well. So I think it's a pleasure to have those good goalkeepers, and now it's up to competition who I'm going to play this game and every game. But I think it's a nice duel, and they need to make sure they bring the benefit to the team. But I think both of them have shown that they are very good goalkeepers in this league. So I'm very pleased with that. And I think Bara came into this team with a good moment for us because we needed those skills she has. She's a different goalkeeper to Becky. So I think she gave us what we needed those two games, and that was really nice to see.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Robert. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there any other questions from anyone else? No, all good. Well, thank you very much. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.